A spark leaps from palm to palm, and in the gathering dusk, smoke begins to rise. On an African savanna, a small band huddles close. They hear the call of hyenas, feel the sting of smoke, and see their breath in the thin, cold air. Here, words give form to memory, turning a hunt into a story, a plan for tomorrow. With fire and language, fragile bodies became cooperative minds. These minds walked out of Africa into new lands and new climates, learning to share, to remember, and to imagine. Along the Fertile Crescent, the Nile, and the Yellow River, they learned to tame the wild. They domesticated plants and animals, stored surplus, and freed hands for new kinds of work. Villages thickened into towns. But this new bounty came at a cost, a bargain that chained humanity to the field and the calendar. This bargain forged new societies, built on rules, records, and walls. In the first cities of Mesopotamia, the Indus Valley, and the Yellow River, writing tracked grain and law attempted to restrain power. Bronze armed the chariots of kings. Iron would later arm the common soldier, unsettling old elites and widening the scope of war. These new tools of civilization demanded ever larger maps. The Achaemenid Persians built roads to connect their vast domain. Greek city-states debated the nature of freedom before being united under Hellenistic kings. And a Roman Empire grew into an empire of laws and legions. Across these empires, ideas traveled with armies and then long outlived them. Farther east, the courts of Maurya and Gupta India debated duty and destiny, as Hinduism and Buddhism shaped both souls and states. In China, the Qin and Han dynasties forged an imperial bureaucracy built on Confucian ideals, while the quiet wisdom of Taoism offered another path. And through exile and dispersion, Judaism carried its covenant, keeping a collective memory alive across generations. The world began to shrink. Caravans braved the Silk Roads, while lateen sails caught the monsoon winds of the Indian Ocean. With the goods came stories, technologies, and plagues, binding strangers in shared webs of risk and reward. These ancient networks of trust and exchange are the blueprints for our own global supply chains, and the very same routes that carried plagues then inform our understanding of public health today. Night falls at a desert crossroads. A scholar and a trader bargain under lamplight, their words a mix of poetry and price. In this interconnected world, the rise of Islam created a vibrant new sphere of learning and commerce, and the Mongol peace later secured the roads for all. But these same roads that carried silk also carried the Black Death, a pestilence that emptied cities and remade societies. When the old routes faltered, new ones opened to the west. Ships began to stitch the oceans into a single global story. The Columbian Exchange brought new foods, but also new plagues. The brutal Atlantic slave trade built empires on stolen labor, a legacy of pain and wealth that still shapes our world. Curiosity and profit drove new science and new politics. Steam and coal turned fuel into motion, shrinking the globe once more, as distant markets and peoples became ever more integrated. New lines were drawn on the map as nation-states rose, asserting borders and identity. Their rivalries ignited the fires of World War I and then the far darker conflagration of World War II, a conflict whose horrors, including the Holocaust, scarred the human conscience. In its wake, old empires crumbled and new nations were born. A Cold War divided the planet by ideology, even as satellites and cables drew it closer together. Globalization accelerated, digital networks remade daily life, and for many, life expectancy and literacy climbed higher than ever before. Yet this progress has been uneven and has come at a great cost to our planet. The choices we face now about our climate, our technology, our very biology are rooted in this long, complex story of power and exchange. To understand today, we must understand yesterday, because the map is tilting once more and power is shifting in ways we are only beginning to see.